Welcome to DG Aerobatics. In this video I'm going to be talking about 3D progression, so stick around. Hi, Dan Gallo here. I'm just out getting a few flights for my 103 laser, and I thought I'd give you some tips on progression in 3D flying, from first principles. Perhaps you want to get into 3D flight and are looking for kind of a path to help you progress from first principles up to a higher standard of flying. So it's always good to try new things. It will give you something to aim for when you get to the field, and it will ultimately improve your flying. So first of all, I'd recommend getting a model that's capable of doing 3D flying. I know that sounds quite fundamental, but when I was learning it years ago, you'd see models advertised that would do all sorts of manoeuvres, torque rolling and hovering and high alpha stuff. You'd buy the model, you'd build it, you'd put the motor in, and then when you started learning these manoeuvres, you'd quickly find out it wasn't making life very easy for you, the model. It wasn't really capable of doing what it was advertised to do. So it took a little bit longer back then, and there wasn't simulators and stuff like that. But fortunately now there is, and there's plenty of models capable of doing 3D flight. So make sure you've got one that's got plenty of power, one that can punch out safely when you open the throttle. So back then there wasn't really enough power, so if you got into a hover and you wanted to fly off, you had to just put the nose forward and fly off like this. So you didn't have a lot of power in reserve. So a lot of the foamies now, the smaller electric planes, in addition to your simulator, I'd recommend that. So probably best not to be doing it on a 35%, a little bit daunting straight away, save that for a bit later. Okay, so first manoeuvre I recommend doing is the upright elevator. Inverted elevator, and then progressing from that, gradually opening the throttle as you're coming down to kind of transition into Harrier flight, because when you're doing 3D Harrier flying, or kind of high alpha at attack stalled flight, is you're doing it all the time when you're doing 3D, even when you're you've progressed a bit with it. Okay, so upright elevators, inverted elevators, and then start opening the throttle a bit as you're actually transitioning into Harrier flight. Now you do it safe height, you don't have to do it DOD down on the deck, so save that for later. Alright, so then I'd recommend going into the knife edge descent. So I've done a video on this. That will get you into flying high alpha knife edge. So you're working on all these different attitudes, high alpha inverted, high alpha upright, knife edge high alpha. And they're quite safe moves to do when you're starting 3D flying. Okay? So in addition to that, when you're actually doing your flying around, do point rolls, precision moves, do slow rolls, high up. That will get you using the sticks right, so when you want to progress to the rolling Harrier descent. Okay, you'll be using the sticks in the same kind of manner as you would be in doing point rolls and slow rolls. You'll just be moving the sticks more quickly, and you won't have to worry about throttle like I've explained in my video. So that will get you progressing into kind of rolling Harrier moves safely. So you can work on these moves concurrently, whilst you're at the field over a few sessions. And you can also get into hovering manoeuvres. So what you would do with that, you'd start off with your upright and inverted elevators, you'd transition from that into Harrier flight, and then you gradually increase the angle of attack until you're almost hovering, and then again, if you get into trouble, you can just open the throttle and fly off. Alright, so make sure you do that into wind, so you've got this wind blowing towards the plane, and eventually you'll get to a point where the wind will almost make the plane stationary, and you'll be hovering, but not vertically. You'll be hovering at that sort of angle, and that will be nice and safe. Then you can fly off. Alright, so that's kind of a natural progression in my mind as to what you can do. So see if it works for you. I hope it does. If you like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I'll be putting some more things out there. I'm more into sort of precision type moves, so I'll do some instructionals on precision flight, so look out for that. Thanks for watching, folks. I'll see you next time.